Kalou is the youngest player out there now. There are younger on the bench. That's given away. And here is Carlos Sergio, and now Pizarro taking over.
Pizarro, I've got Birmingham whenever I think of Pizarro.
Right, yes, the very start of his season.
Oh,
look at that little backheader. Petacek alert as ever. Good gravity, bowls it out quickly. Kepa, take note. Mendy, take note.
That's what keepers can do, even at this level. Get the ball, set up an attack. When they're out of shape, when their positional strategy has been left in some, well, there's certain holes on the pitch, move the ball quickly. Czech's done that, but the rest of the players have let him down. Yeah, going back to Pizarro, Ben, I seem to remember that goal against Birmingham. Late on, it was a 1-0 winner, I seem to remember.
Oh, I was thinking beginning of the season, was it not a 2-2 draw?
Was it a draw?
And Malouda got one as well. You're really testing me here. You're testing me. Malouda's taking a corner.
It's a late goal, I know that.
They both scored right at the start of the season, a 2-2 draw, and here is Malouda now, but Pizarro's on the other side. That's a great ball in towards Terry. 67 Chelsea goals. Just a few more than our friend Clive Walker, which always annoyed him that a defender did get more. He was always looking at JT coming up on the rails. I was just looking at his numbers down there. Forget the 67 goals, they're a bonus. 717. It's not quite Chopper. Ron Harris still way out top and Peter Bonetti, but in a modern day of the speed of the game and the level Chelsea were playing at, with all due respect to Chop Harris and Peter Bonetti, because they played in a fine Chelsea side, but they didn't play in one of the best teams in the country for 15 years solidly, and he did. I mean, that is nuts.
No,
it
is nuts.
717 appearances for Chelsea.
It is nuts, and he came in, and it's, you know, that at that particular time, I remember hearing a lot about JT long before he made his debut at Chelsea, and you know, I watched him in the under-21s. I thought, what's all this noise about? Who's this young centre-half that's coming through this? And, you know...
And a centre midfield before that?
And, well, that's right, and that's how he... You know, you can see, actually, there is a midfielder, the way that he still plays, or did play the game, and I say still, but of course, I mean, in his professional career, that you can see the midfielder in him, but there was that period, wasn't there, where the stars aligned, you know, Frank came in, and then Roman turned up, and then the team was built around him, and you know, that you can think about what might have been differently. You know, John Terry would have been a brilliant centre-half no matter what happened, but the fact that the money was there to build a team around him and Frank, that was pretty much it, wasn't it? They were the two guys when you look back over that time when Roman came in.
And the stars did really align, because Marcel Desailly left that same summer that Mourinho came in, and it's okay, well, I've got this guy John Terry, I'm going to give him the armband. It really did. I mean, I talk about legends there, and a teammate of Lucas.
Desailly, of course, but yeah, imagine playing alongside him. Imagine that.
Owen Hargreaves. And this is Vladimir Brankovic, and back to Hargreaves, who's definitely giving it the... I'm not too bothered about the football beforehand, but he definitely is, because they are. Here's Pizarro. Clever. Little give and go. Elbert. That was pretty for a moment. Gary Cahill there. Maybe the best decision anyone's ever made, leaving Bolton in January of that year and coming to Chelsea and winning everything. 263 is not a bad appearance tally, let's be honest, Gary Cahill. Full set for him. Here comes Essien. Oh, was that a step over? I think it was.
It was.
I mean, it was a sort of step over.
It was a step something.
Malouda. Chelsea fans in the shed end want goals. Chelsea fans in the Matthew Harding end will have to wait till the second half for Chelsea goals. Now there's a hand in the air. Gallas making the overlapping run over there for Michael Essien to try and hit. Couldn't quite do it.
I have to say, the Stamford Bridge faithful hoping today that might see a win and some goals. It's been a bit thin on the ground for both of those at the start of the season. Still, of course, there's only 4 games that have been played.
We'll get the confirmed numbers later, but from where I'm sitting, it's a massive crowd.
It's a huge crowd, Ben. You know, we're well into the late 30s would be my guess. Mid to late 30s. There's a patch where the away fans normally sit, which, but I have to say, maybe one or two of the executive. We can't really see them. It's an astonishing turnout. Can we give Ryan Bertrand a little mention as well?
Hasn't had much of the ball yet. He might get it now from Terry, though. Right on cue. Here he is. So he'll be younger than Kalou, and injuries have stopped him doing more in recent years. Went to Leicester, didn't really get a go because couldn't get fit half the time, or more than half the time. Coming in, playing so well on that night in Munich.
Well, yes, that was his Champions League debut, of course.
Ahead of Ashley Cole, who
Yes.
was at left
There we
back.
go.
Essien won it. Kalou on his bike, by the way. Oh, Michael could do better than that. It's a disappointing ball, and the groans accompanying it.
Yes, and he you know, the thing with, it's amazing when and there's a little bit of space. I'll let you take over here, Benjamin.
Because he's up again this right-hand side, Rankovic. He's had a few little raids. Oh, that's very calm. William Gallas on the chest, back to his keeper. Don't lose that line of communication.
It's amazing, even though the legs perhaps can't play the pass the head sees, but the head still sees it. And that's the thing, you know, it's about having the vision, the ability to pass it. Of course, you need that as well, but it's having the ability just to be able to see it and then execute it.
Morris was looking for a run that Malouda hadn't made there. Here is Bertrand again. Solomon Kalou. Not quite the gap to have a shot there.
No, they're playing very defensive here, Bayern.
They are.
And there's a little bit
They
of
go for the smash and grab.
Oh, he's trying to nutmeg JT, but JT's read it.
Parking the bus. Bayern. Dare we accuse them of such things, Stefan Effenberg? It's hot, I know.
It's not getting the penalties, is it? I just wonder how Bayern will feel about that.
I love that. That's the biggest roar of the night, the Terry challenge, and he smiles and he gives Pizarro a little cuddle. and then gives him a little bump for the word. Excellent, excellent.
It's Owen Hargreaves. I just wonder, is there a... Is it? You never know.
No, it's Tronkowski. He looks,
it? Oh, was
he
it?
looks
Right,
just
okay.
like Hargreaves, and
Right.
he had a little word for Pizarro afterwards,
Right.
but it's Tronkowski. No, you won't want a 50-50 with him. And yes, hydration break for all concerned. Frank Leboeuf, incidentally, is stripped and ready on the touchline, and looks like he's itching to get on. 15 minutes more than enough, I think, before a bit of that. Are we going to see a bit of Leboeuf? Will he do his trademark? We can say these things now, folks. David Luiz, Didier Drogba, go down, maybe ham it up a little bit, get the big roar when you come back on. The last time we had a Legends match here, I forget now if you were with me, Inter played, and Leboeuf did it then. And funnily enough, Jody Morris was talking to us a little bit during the match there from the dugout, and he said, you watch Leboeuf, give it about 10 minutes, he'll go down, but he'll get up again and he'll be fine, and he'll get the roar. He did it every time I played with him. And sometimes he did it in training, and he did it within 10 minutes. So we shall see. Zola smiling next to Thiago Mendes, one of the loveliest blokes. And we are going to pop downstairs to join Lee Parker. What have you got, Parker, man?
Here we are with Frank. What have you made of the opening minutes here?
Well, that's encouraging. I would say we can achieve something good. I have some names of some players I will substitute right away, but I will keep it for myself.
How long before we see you on the pitch?
I don't know that. You have to see Roberto. Maybe for the last 5 minutes, that would be enough for the fans.
On that bombshell, it's back to you upstairs.
Right, he's got a few he'd be hooking. Typical of I believe he lives in the States quite a lot nowadays.
There's definitely an American twang about his voice also.
And he rides motorbikes. John Terry still organising.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
You can take the armband off the man, but not for very long. He's got it back on, and yes, in full kit.
Very good.
Offside.
The VAR here, Ben. I just
no. We've decided against that this evening. Tell you what, there's a few players out there who'd have loved it here on that night when the air got sucked out of this stadium when Guardiola's team won it right at the end there, Iniesta. When Michael Essien's goal deserved to be remembered. It's one of those goals that can get forgotten because of its surroundings, and I got a bit of stick at the time for calling it as one of the greatest goals Stamford Bridge has ever seen. And you know what? If that game goes the way it should, Tom Henning of Rabo, it would have.
No, Ben, I'm with you on that. You and I done the commentary that evening. I can still... Well, we've seen the goal so many times. I actually saw the penalty decisions that didn't go our way. There were four.
Yeah.
And the one... Is it Busquets that holds his arm? Who's the one that the handball from?
Eric Abidal, I think. Oh, Abidal, Busquets. Well, keep going, mate. There's a break on here. No,
referee!
Andre Mariner.
Oh, referee's got it blue a little bit.
Oh, puff of the cheeks from Morris.
Jody's not happy. I'm with him. There was it was the Nicolas Anelka towed around the centre half. PK. It's PK. It's PK.
To be honest, just about every Barcelona defender gave away a penalty that night, and yet none of them did. Flag up again here on.
That was the
Vladimir
one.
Rankovic.
And there was a Malouda challenge. I think there were two on Didier. Had VAR existed back then, Benjamin, I think it would have been a 3-1 comfortable victory. But even the Eto'o handball from a shot from Ballack to right just after they scored the equaliser. Oh my gosh, it's disgusting. Anyway, let it go, Jason.
I was going to say,
let it go.
It's my fault for bringing it up. 14 years ago, Gus Hiddink should have been leading Chelsea to
it made it sweeter. It made it that much sweeter.
Of course, all of those moments from Monaco to Anfield, all of those, and Moscow, of course. We could keep going, but I'm not going to because it's too painful. Here's Ramirez, who helped make it sweeter so much. Jody Morris now. Come on, let's test out this Tom Starker.
Have a shot. Come on, guys.
It is a shot, if you can call it that. Florian Malouda, it just about made it to Tom Starker.
When you say Malouda's name, what game or what moment do you think of him?
That's a good question. There isn't immediately one, apart from a ridiculous header he scored, I think, against Aston Villa, where the cross pinged in from the right and he bullet-headed it from almost the edge of the box. It's one of the greatest headers I've ever seen. Torres did one once as well. What are you thinking, Malouda?
I've got a goal away from home. Was it Stoke? Towards the end of the game, like a late winner. Left foot from the right-hand side, left foot cuts inside, drills it.
He did score a late winner at Stoke. I am almost certain. I don't have all my notes.
No, I know, but you know that the old grey Matty,
right.
You can recall on just players. You can always. Well, I can close my eyes. I can see him cutting inside, pulling the trigger.
Definitely scored a winner against Stoke, and it was a blinder. You're right.
Yeah,
I've got it now. I was getting confused with one that Eden Hazard scored off his left peg at Stoke.
Oh no, that was. No, that was
really came out of the blue.
That was an absolute. That was more central.
Bertrand again then. I'd like to see him bombing up the left a little bit more, given that he's younger and fitter.
He should be the fittest player on the pitch.
He should be. Plus Mikel, because he's always kept so much in the tank. Here he is. Morris trying to glance it on for Malouda. It's a nice idea. There's a lot of that. Tronkowski almost caught in possession by Morris.
Well, Jody does some nice things. He's also done some horrendous things as well. I'm sure he'll...
Beloved of these parts because he came through from these parts, of course, and nearly not far off 200 appearances.
Well, if you follow him on social media, he's a boy that had a dream, you know. He was not far from the North End Road down that way. Born and bred a Chelsea fan. To play for your club that you support, I was lucky enough to do the same.
And then to coach it.
And then to coach and do what he's done as well, absolutely.
Not many get to do that.
No, you're absolutely
Support,
right.
play a lot and coach. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty special. Loose ball, JT steps in. Chance if Essien can get on his bike. Come on, Michael.
Essien, get moving. Malouda needs an option. Here is Essien. Oh, that was worth a hit. Maybe not. Ramirez, 4 in the box. Can he find a teammate? Oh, it's a good ball! Michael Essien at the shed end. Great cross, great finish. Chelsea won by 0. Fabulous and totally deserved. Essien leaps and knocks in. Maybe not the best goal Stamford Bridge has ever seen, like his one here against Barcelona was. but it wasn't bad.
Well, it starts from JT, actually. I don't know how far back we're going to go and see the highlight of the goal, but JT steps in, it's a sloppy pass. And once then...
The Bison.
Yeah, once JT steps in, he then plays the ball out to Michael. Ball goes out to Ramirez. It's a lovely ball in. By the way, that's
a good jump.
By the way, that's better than I thought.
He's got well up there, hang time, Michael Essien.
He's leapt, hung, and directed. That's all about that. There's not a huge amount of pace on the cross. He's had to generate. Do you know, I can see in his face that he knows this is a good goal. He knows that's a good header. That's not a tap-in. There was a lot of work to be done. Lovely cross from Ramirez on the right-hand side. It's all about the neck muscles. You then got to generate more power and pace, not just from the cross, but you've got to add to it. When you see, you've got the neck the size of him as well, by the way. It's like a birthday cake. Huge neck. You're extending those neck muscles.
Super header, really was, and that familiar Essien smile. Such a quiet bloke. Even when you're having a conversation with him, you sometimes have to ask him to raise his voice. He's so softly spoken, but a bull of a competitor. Oh, not a bull, a bison, as he was always called at Lyon. And
injuries, Ben, went away on international duty.
Yep.
And on the knee, never the same player again, unfortunately. We were robbed, I'm afraid, and at that time, of course, when I know the game you're going to say, what do you think when you think of Essien?
Well, Barcelona there, yeah. Arsenal here.
Arsenal here.
Tommy Langley screaming all over the microphone and the distortion. 86th minute, I'll even tell you that Mathieu Flamini had got the Arsenal goal. Weird things you remember, isn't it? We needed that, and that's one of the reasons that incredible Mourinho home run. You remember his record for Porto, then Chelsea and beyond, went on for so long. There are a handful only of occasions where it nearly went, and that Essien goal was one of the ones that stopped it going. Oh, yes. What a goal. That late fade on the ball, and the TV angle of it, gorgeous, right up there.
Yes, you need the camera behind him to really appreciate, otherwise you just don't appreciate what... It started off target.
Youngsters, if you don't know what I'm talking about when you're watching this game back, make sure you watch that one back. Here's Gallas, onside, tight angle, bit of an air shot, bit of fight ball in the Bayern box. Chelsea the better side here. Deservedly.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea totally dominating. Gallas enjoying down that right-hand side there. Oh, lovely.
Lovely switch, chance for two. Starker makes a big stop. Surely Michael Essien's not scoring two in a game. Surely.
I can't recall that he ever did.
No, yeah, he was a 1 in 10 guy. He's a 1 in 10 guy. He got Ramirez bends another one in for Kalou's on the dive. That's a brilliant piece of defending. Van Boyten down there. What a stop that is.
JT stepping in.
Hit it. Malouda. He sort of had to take that. I think Terry would have hit it. Oh, he's only gone and scored. He's only gone and scored. He kept on running. He kept his position. He stayed on side, and it's an empty net for 2-0. Captain Lee, their legend and goal scorer. I'm going to call that his 68th for Chelsea.
Well, it had a hand in the first goal. The highlight won't show you that. But he has a hand in the second, more than just the goal. He steps in and wins it again. He's on his toes, nips in front. Malouda's on the left-hand side. JT continues his run. Malouda then just goes on the outside. As he does, it's an overlapping run from JT. He cuts on the left-hand side, drills it across towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Because JT's continued his run, he just toes it into the empty net. The goalkeeper is anticipating he's going to pick it up. And right in front of the shed end.
What a moment.
Look at his face.
Just
look at his face.
Somebody wonderful, Dame Barry Davis once said. He's still grinning now as Bayern kick off. He's got the Holy Trinity, a goal, an assist and a clean sheet. I'd get off now and let the berth on if I was you, JT.
Like I said, he had a hand. The first goal was given away. It's a sloppy pass, but he's read it. Steps in.
Well, he's ready. And he's talking, as usual, constantly. Leboeuf on the bench. A lot to live up to.
Do you know what would be fascinating to see, Ben? And it wouldn't work, I know, but should you put just JT in the Chelsea team next Saturday? Do you know what I mean? I know he's older and he's not as fit, but do you know what I mean?
Well, Thiago Silva.
I know.
It's not that far.
No, he's not. But just a thing.
Well, how quickly? Well, you know more than me, mate. How quickly does it go when you don't play anymore?
It goes quickly, especially at this level. I done my UEFA B coaching badge with Stevie Clark with the under-18s here many years ago, and I wasn't retired. A lovely tackle from Jody Morris in the middle of the park, and Chelsea have won it again. There's a bit more of an energy about Chelsea being the better side throughout the whole game. There's no question that Chelsea's energy. But I've got to say, Ben, when I coached the sessions, I would join in some of the five-a-sides.
And you were not long retired at this point.
Not huge.
What, a year or two?
Yeah.
Right.
The pace of the game. That's what fans don't realise. It's the pace and the quickness, the way how things move.
So you need some legs next year. Mind you, Thiago Silva's got that. Here's Mikel, no foul. Solomon Kalou. Not for long though.
Yeah, but these are under 18. These are the youth team players I was playing with. But even so, and you can imagine what it'll be like at the highest levels. It's the quickness of the game. And yes, I think it's fair to say, Ben, we're watching a bit of a slower pace game out there tonight.
Well, I'd hope so. And yes, it is. You're pretty sure that Kale and Terry would be a fine defensive partnership at some level of the football pyramid. Morris able to stride out. Mikel spreading it. Good ball. Appreciated by the Stamford Bridge crowd.
Jody won it again.
He really does, doesn't
do you know
he?
what?
Come and give me the ball. Give me the ball.
But that was Jody as a player, wasn't it? He wanted to make the game tick. He wanted to be the conductor of the orchestra. He wanted to control the tempo, come and get the ball. Technically a brilliant footballer. Size, despite the fact he's not, we all know Jody's not tall as that. Never, if you're good enough, you're good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah, there's a chap called Zola on the Chelsea bench.
Yes, indeed, there are. And of course, modern day, I think of Billy Gilmore, who's tiny little fella, but no.
Andre Mariner, eyes on you for stoppage time. Nicely worked this, actually. And Bertrand has Morris popping up on the left side, and he's carried on running. Ryan Bertrand, right, get in the middle, give him a target. Corner if there's time, and I think there will be. But the Shed End has seen 2 goals already. Time to squeeze in one more.
Maybe. It's going to be an in-swinger. Gary Cahill loves a goal from a set piece. Spurs away.
Yes. Starker comes a long way. That's a good collection, that. Pizarro dropping deep.
He has dropped deep.
He's dropped so deep, he's the last man back. One of those rare players who's really been loved everywhere he's gone, Claudio Pizarro. Spiritual home is Bremen, where he is every kind of record holder, Werder Bremen. Played against them for Chelsea, funnily enough. The Champions League draw always does that. But Bayern and Chelsea too. Always very popular at Cobham as well. Intelligent fella. Absolute gent.
Just watching Mikel there, honestly, it's so... I've watched that little movement, reading the pass going, but you think, God, it's bizarre to watch that again in a blue shirt here at Stamford Bridge, where he's read the pass and scampers. He didn't really travel a lot of distance, he's never known for his pace, or never known for his... But he would read the game incredibly well, Mikel.
Yeah, you don't play nearly 400 times under that many different managers, and what you and I will have heard and did hear on a lot of phone-ins and a lot of shows, people questioning it, but
divided opinion.
All those managers picked him. He's played well here, and so has the current number 26, Levi Colwell. Apologies to you. A smiling John Terry has helped make the first goal that was brilliantly headed in by Michael Essien, who, shall we say, is dragging himself off, drenched in sweat more than you've ever seen. He got the first, Terry got the second, and they're all going to cool down. Well played, boys. We expect some changes after the break, and that break is coming now. Yes, it's half an hour each way. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Bayern Munich 0, and the Blues absolutely deserve it. No penalties required tonight, folks.
Well, here we are at half-time. What a first half of action. I'm delighted to say I've been joined by three more legends, Frank Sinclair, Idager Johnson, and this man, Sam Hutchinson, at the end as well. Frank, I'm going to start with you. Michael Essien, goal machine.
Absolutely. Why change a habit of a lifetime? He used to pop up with the odd goal every now and then. There was always on special occasions, and he certainly popped up and got one tonight.
He certainly did. Ida, it's a fantastic occasion. What a crowd. What a night this is.
Yeah, I think we all know why we're here. It's great to see the fans come out, great to see the appreciation for Gianluca Vialli, who is dear to our hearts, and obviously great to be winning a game again.
It certainly is. I'm going to come around and speak to Hutch, so I don't have to lean across. This guy, by the way, looks like he's ready to play 90 minutes. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm great, thank you. Privileged to be here.
When are we going to see you out on the pitch, Hutch?
I'm not sure. We'll see. See if I can get on.
It's been a fantastic night so far. I mean, what do you say about the atmosphere? It must be so good for you to be back here at the bridge.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And for a cause like this, you can't get better than this tonight. For me and for my family and all the legends that are actually legends playing.
Yes, there you go. There's the answer. Andre Mariner. Panto stuff at Stamford Bridge.
I did say that's the only scenario that I can see where you do.
He pulled him back. By the letter of the law, it's a caution.
By the way, it's 2 yellows.
Oh, because he booted it afterwards.
He's lucky to be on the pitch.
He is lucky to be on the pitch, because the pullback is a caution in itself.
Yeah, that's a foul. And then that is absolutely a... Yeah, Andre Mariner, well done.
Well, a little bit lenient. Terry should be off.
Lucky boy, Terry.
Then it really would be like Munich. We'd be playing without him.
Yes.
I know he's still on. I reckon those two could play at a very high level together.
Bayern have been actually a bit better in the second half. You know. There's a little bit more... It just feels a bit more of a purpose about the game. I wasn't convinced first half that they were too bothered.
That was Thomas Linker, German international, with the former, I should say, if that wasn't obvious, with the shot. Ref cam. You couldn't have this in the Premier League, although...
it's coming, Ben.
Well...
It's coming.
Well, then there's going to be some serious cards dished out for rudeness. Andre Mariner, the hunchback of Stamford Bridge. Little extra kit for him there.
Yes. So you think about it, what a lovely job for him as well.
He's retired now, I should have mentioned that earlier. He's no longer a Premier League ref, so yeah, great to come and not be abused for a start.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a long way out in every sense. The distance, the angle, and wide of the mark.
You can only imagine if Anthony Taylor had booked Thiago Silva. You can only imagine what the stadium would have sounded like. Yet there's ironic cheers and laughter and giggles. Hilarious.
That was Van Boyten again, who had that header close early in this half. Harley infield.
Frank's wide right here. If you can get the ball out to Frank.
Yeah.
Like
Big switch is on.
It is on. He's still a fit boy, Frank.
He's always pacey as a player.
Yeah.
Harley with the cutback. This is promising. Hutchinson lays it off. Nice looking curler from Florian Malouda that's beaten out by Rui Muller. And it's a corner.
Yeah, nicely worked on the left-hand side. There's lots of movement in front. In the end, Sam just finds Malouda, shifts it, bodies around him. Not enough pace to really trouble the goalkeeper. In the end, he goes safety first.
Nice shape, though. It's definitely curling in.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're never sure how quickly the keepers will get down to shots now that they are older. That's a different thing as well. And it comes not far enough for Hutchinson or Cahill. Ramirez. Go on.
I thought
He really looked like he was going to.
Why not? Why not, Ben?
2-0 up. There's no points on the line. There is a trophy, though. Chelsea just trying to click into gear again. Overhit.
See that? See right there is enough.
Mikel.
Yeah, that is Mikel also. How many times we just see him just don't. Oh, come on, Mikel, you're better. Some subs about to be made.
Well, Leboeuf demanding to come on. Flo is there. And we've seen a couple of young Chelsea left-backs. We've got another one there, Danny Granville. A lot of tonight is about Stuttgart, the 25th anniversary as well. That's obviously a big Gianluca factor in that. Oh, Vicenza, and that celebration full time when he's waving his arm around. And he scored that header. No, his cross. Sorry, no, Mark Hughes scored the goal. But there was the Zola Vialli bullet header, cross and header. And Danny Granville played in that final in Stuttgart. Gianfranco came off the bench that night. He's still a little bit bitter about it. One of the last times I spoke to Zola was a while ago, and he was annoyed that he wasn't picked. So there was some bite in that celebration. Yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute, because we are seeing the changes here. And Danny Granville is on. Tore Andre Flo is going to replace Florent Malouda. He's a striker who's been heavily involved with the club for a long time since, of course. Torre, coaching at the academy, and still lives nearby.
Yeah, see him often here around Stamford Bridge, and frequently bump into him at some stage throughout the season.
Given that you've been asking these questions all night, if I say to you Tore Andre Flo, I think of two things. You can tell me after this Chelsea attack what springs up for you. Here's Claude Makelele. Not had many touches since he came on. Oh dear. I'll tell Claude later that you called him Makelele with batteries. N'Golo Conte will bring that up. But yeah, he's taken that position on. Sam Hutch seeing plenty of the ball here. Flo offering short and towards Kalou, who stayed on since the beginning. Here's Sinclair. How's his cross this time? Come on, Frank. What you got? That's a better ball, but it wasn't the greatest bit of control, actually, by Harley in there. It was. What's the left-back doing? Oh, he's gone up there because Danny Granville's gone to left-back. You're supposed to spot these tactical switches.
There's a space on the... They're all over the place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, John Harley's in midfield with Sam Hutch and Claude Makelele. Danny Granville's gone left-back.
Frank Kalou's on the right now. Kalou was down the middle.
And McKelly's asking if he can make up a back three with Terry and Cahill. Now, it's going to be too far, is it? Just for Tronkowski to get to at the shed end. So go on then, Tore Andre Flo, what are you saying?
I've got the snow. I can see a game in the snow, Ben.
Oh, right, you're thinking Tromso.
Yes, that's where I've gone.
I think of Luca with that orange ball in the snow, and Rude,
it's that as
Rude's
well.
Dreadlocks covered in snow, thinking, what have I done here? All right, well, for Flo, I think Barcelona.
Yes, of course, yes. Yeah,
that tie when Figo scored right at the end here, but on the way to 3-0
it did. Oh dear.
That
was probably the goal that knocked us out, even though we got well beaten.
Yeah.
In
after extra time.
Yes, indeed, but that was probably the goal that got us knocked out.
So in the shed end they are dreaming, said Peter Drury when Flo stuck it in.
Yes.
But also the other one would be the hat-trick in the 6 in the Christian Gross Tottenham match.
Yes.
And Flo got 3 of them at least. Did he get 4? He definitely got 3. And 6-1, I think it was. Ramon Vega playing for Spurs, and Christian Gross had his tube ticket. Remember him?
I do.
Oh, given away cheap. Here is Flo wearing his number 19, as he always did. Mikel into Kalou.
Oh, sort your first touch out, Kalou. It's difficult. It was he had plenty of time and space there to get his first touch. Sometimes players like that, when you've got too much time, that can be a little bit of a problem. You've got so much time, no one's around you. You're actually thinking about what you're going to do with the ball before you've actually got it under control.
Calm from Cahill and Terry. Look at that, and Terry just making sure that Thomas Linker isn't allowed to get in the way. Mikel, nice, really nice.
Still looks good, Mikel, doesn't he?
He does, and I was thinking his face doesn't look one day older, and he's trim. Which can't be said about all of them out there. But I have to say, there's no one who's really burgeoning.
No, I have to say, the vast majority of the boys we're watching out here, they still look fit. Okay, look, there's a little bit of extra timber. That was quick, but I have to say, there's I tell you now, I've seen some ex-pros go out in charity games, mate. They're actually lining up in the mascots. You know, they have to borrow Stamford shorts. That's that size of waistband. Now these boys look fit.
Yeah, Mikel's definitely still got it. As you look at him down there now, he looks like a professional athlete. And, finished up in Turkey last I saw.
Really strange scenario how he joined Chelsea. He actually done a presser in a Manchester United shirt, and they claimed that they'd signed him. And then, of course, days later, he rocks up at Stamford Bridge in a Chelsea shirt.
Good decision. Not a good cross, bent in by Contento.
Great decision, but what a strange scenario that was. It looks like there's going to be some more subs.
And a water break.
Yes.
It is a drinks break, and I'm just going to tell you a quick Solomon Kalou story that I made a quick reference to earlier, and I'm suddenly aware that people might not know what I'm talking about. This is a legacy from the days of being at Cobham. They had a lovely canteen with incredible food, everything you could ever want. You and I enjoyed it every now and then, Mr. Cundy. Solomon Kalou was never seen in there, and I realised this after a good few months. I'd never seen him upstairs playing pool, eating, drinking, anything. I said to him one day, "What? You're never there?" He said, "I always just leave training and go straight to McDonald's." Every day. Outrageous. Let's go downstairs. Lee Parker is with the Bison.
Thanks very much, Ben. Yes, I am. I'm here with goal machine Michael Essien. Michael, talk us through that header.
The whole stadium is
He's getting shy. Come back here. Come on. They love you, Michael. Do we love Michael Essien? Michael, you've not lost a beat. That was a fantastic first half and a terrific goal.
I mean, we are here for a good cause and also to celebrate our late Gianluca Vialli. So, and yeah, I think we had a great first half, and I managed to score the first goal. So yeah, all good.
Listen to this ovation. They love you, Michael. How special is it for you to be here and to hear this once again?
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate the support, and yeah, once a blue, always a blue. So yeah, happy to be back home.
And we love having you back. Stamford Bridge once again. Let's hear it for the brilliant Michael Essien.
Carlo Cudicini enters the fray, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, because Lee Parker has broadcast it across the PA system here several times tonight already, but 3 days ago Carlo turned the big 5-0, Milan boy, and super close to lovely Luca, and taking his place with his number 23 at the shed end. We were genuinely blessed, because he was, for my money, he was the best keeper around. And then Pedicek came along. There's another little Italian wearing 20-something doing some boots up down there. And I'm not talking about Gigi Kaziragi, who is also here. Zola's on the big screen, folks. That's the Raw. Teasing, or is he doing it?
He's warming up, can you believe that?
Someone's going to have to come off, because he's not coming on just yet, because Chelsea have got 10 outfielders out there and a new keeper. Gianfranco Zola down towards the Matthew Harding end. If he's not careful, though, he may never leave it, because if they get him in there, the cuddles will go all night. But play continues.
Well, definitely teasing the crowd, Ben. Right, do you want to start with your Carlo Cudicini? What do you think of when you see Carlo? I've not done my mate Frank, by the way, as well. Can I just say, first game of the season against Coventry.
What did Frank do?
Scored, pulled his shorts down.
Oh, sorry. Right, I thought you... not his first game, sorry. No, the first game of the season.
Yeah, first game of the season.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Yeah. He got heavily fined for that.
It's still one of the most brilliant, incongruous goal celebrations that's ever happened. It's sort of rubbish and brilliant at the same time.
Yes, and it's one of those you still see occasionally. I don't know whether it's been censored because, but yes, there is the odd occasion. Maybe I've not seen it on Sky, maybe on social media, but
brilliant. Love him. And he's making a little move here. He's on the front. Chelsea players in the box. There's Danny Granville looking for Mikel, and that's gone wrong. And I would say there'd be a breakaway. It depends on the Bayern pace.
Frank's got he's got a bit of... There he goes, Frank. There he puts the afterburners on. There he goes. There's the pace of Frank that I know so well. Pedicini, what's your memories? What's the game you think of with Carlo, Ben? There's several.
A tip over the bar against Tottenham from a Jamie Redknapp free kick is my favourite save of his.
Oh, I've got another one against Spurs.
Oh, what are you giving me?
Berbatov, last minute, 4-4. Oh, that for me, that comes out.
Right.
It was 4-4, right?
It was 4-4, Robbie Keane and all that. And,
yeah.
Do you know why that doesn't spring to my mind? I wasn't doing that game because the Youth Cup were playing and I was covering the very rare Youth Cup on the same night as the first team.
He's in.
He is in. Pedicini, how's your pace? It's good enough, all right on cue. Mind you, the goal's open. Terry had to make that challenge,
yes,
or the lob was on.
Yes, he did. There's a break on here for Chelsea. The ball was played. It's a lovely ball, actually, splitting the defence, but Carlo was off his line. I have to say, I mean, Carlo there, he may be 50, but wow, not moved well.
Still got it. Here's Flo. Oh, referee says no penalty. Flo goes down, a little bit soft, but can I just say, not only has Carlo still got it, he is still the most handsome devil.
He is. And also,
it's obscene.
And also, obviously, I never knew Carlo. I never played with Carlo, but I've got to know him pretty well. He is a lovely man. I mean, you know, he's I know you often hear people say that, but he is genuinely just a really lovely fella.
Leboeuf is warming up with, I would say, almost vigour now. He's threatening to break into a jog on this near touchline, Frank Leboeuf. There he is. Definitely Coventry City for Frank Leboeuf, by the way. That absolute screamer in the aeroplane celebration with the arms out wide. Nice from Mikel. Here's Flo. He's got options to his left. Danny Granville. It was early. Was it open door? Granville still can't find a teammate. Bayern need a response here. It's not coming, and they haven't got long to get it. Pizarro on the turn. Dietecher taking over. He's come on at some point during this half. Still wondering when we're going to see Zola and Leboeuf. Gigi Kaziragi as well, by the way. Who else haven't we seen? Ida!
Oh, my word!
Well, Carlo standing and watching that one, and it came to his call when he needed it most.
Rooted, absolutely rooted, Ben. Bounces off the crossbar. It's a little dink. Deserves a goal, that.
Harold Czerny?
Deserves a goal. God, his face.
Look how cool. No problem.
No.
Chew the gum. I knew that was not a shot on target, which of course it isn't.
His body fat is the same as when he played on the
Zola warming up. Leboeuf warming up. Hutchinson dinking it out nonchalantly. Now Makaleli. Down to our left, because they're part of obviously the presentation committee here this evening. We've the Vialli family, Gianluca's wife Catherine and his daughters Olivia and Sophia, making their way around the perimeter of the field, just behind Frank Leboeuf there, and Robbie. Oh, nice little layoff. Yeah. Didn't quite work.
No, the pace and the pass need a little bit more on the pass. He just flicked it inside there. Is it Sam that was going to get on the end of it? Chance here, Byron. Looking a bit more adventurous, and you know.
Tronkowski's still fit. He started the match, and he's still on here. In from left back. That's his ricochet. Makaleli mopping up.
Yeah, and indeed, and you're right. And Cahill there wanted to keep. Is he on a clean sheet bonus?
He might be. I wonder if he had that written into the contract. Gigi, Frank and Gianfranco coming soon. What a ball that is. No flag. Is it going to be 3-0? Oh, he had big ideas there, John Harley.
Stay on your left side. You've managed to get yourself a little bit of space. He's cut inside and he knows can tell that boys.
Ah, left foot. He got 2 Chelsea goals, did John? But could he have spanked it? He had his time again. Maybe he'd take it on the left. 2-0 it remains. Final few minutes here on a balmy evening with an L at Stamford Bridge. Well in, Frank Sinclair. Great defending from Franco. The other Franco.
The other Franco, indeed.
Yeah, well, in fact, two Francos about to come on here. And, oh, good, we are going to see Thiago Mendes. I was looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, you'd be very disappointed, Ben, if you turned up for a game of this size and gave your time and you stayed on the bench, you didn't get off. I mean, you often hear the expression, I'll be knocking on the manager's door. I tell you what, you'd be phoning him, messaging Robbie. What are you thinking of, man?
Well, they are going to get on, but there's one person. There is one I haven't seen yet.
Either.
Indeed.
Maybe,
favourite number 22.
Or maybe he's just not as fit. Oh, great ball!
Mikel, what a pass for Kalou, come on! Oh, he's put it wide! Which almost seems perfect.
So Kalou. So Kalou. So, and then the brilliant ball from Mikel on this right-hand side, beautifully weighted. Yeah, I mean, just it's
a cheeky idea, and it's very close. Solomon, come on, mate.
Yeah, score. Just score. Just score. He smiles though. That's the thing about Kalou.
Jose Mourinho's watching our broadcast today somewhere, and he's going, typical Solomon Kalou. Typical Kalou.
Should have been a penalty, by the way, in the San Siro when we played them.
I think you've heard who's coming on, folks. There's never been a number 25 at Chelsea since he left, and I hope there never will be. There's one of those shirts hanging in my room at home, signed on the day he left. The greatest of all, Gianfranco Zola. I put an asterisk by that because some people would like to say John Terry, Frank Lampard, Peter Osgood, and that is absolutely fair enough.
Yep.
But he's magic, and he's on the field. So is Gigi Kaziragi, a player we saw all too little because of a horrible injury. But I know what I'm thinking of with him. Phil Babbs. Phil Babbs knackers on the goalpost, folks. Look it up. Kaziragi, Liverpool.
Yes.
Say no more. He is on. Injury robbed him of more of a career.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Thiago Mendes, who Michael Essien essentially. Speaking of Jose Mourinho, when Michael Essien came, Jose said, Thiago Mendes said, I want to play more, and I said, I've bought Essien, and he's a monster, and he's in your position, and I'll love to have you here, Thiago. But you can, Essien's back on, John Harley's going off. And Thiago Mendes, Jose said to Thiago, I'd love to have you here if you want to stay, but I understand if you want to play more, and he left. He's another lovely fella, Thiago Mendes.
What do you think of when you think of him, Thiago?
Oh, Roy Carroll getting absolutely done from about 30 yards out.
Yes, last game of the season, I seem to remember. And Jose's reaction was...
Yeah,
what?
Astonished.
What?
I think Thiago's reaction was astonished.
Yes.
Laced it, 30 yards, top corner, and Roy Carroll beating all ends up.
Yeah, it was yes, when you say 30 yards, Ben,
I might have understated it.
You might have done. Yes, there might have been a couple of digits after that.
Chelsea got this one sewn up. Just manage the game now. I want to see some cramp. I want to see some time wasting. I want to see some ball in the corner flag. Let's do this the right way, boys, and keep that sheet clean. It nearly wasn't from the shot earlier that came off Kudicini's bar. That took a flick on the way through, though. Bayern have a corner.
Go on, Zola. What's the game?
Cech's got his clean sheet incident. Oh, Zola, there's too many.
I mean, I know there's two. I mean, I'm thinking Wimbledon FA Cup semi-final at Highbury. The goal down here against Norwich FA Cup. I mean, both FA Cups, I know. There's also the skill he done down in front of
Jamie Carragher
and Danny Murphy.
Twisted about 15 times. In comes the Bayern corner, out it goes. Good, solid header. Gary Cahill, by the way, could definitely play high-level football. He's not been long retired. Oh, my goodness, what is happening here? How's your distribution, Makelele? Frank Sinclair making ground on the right. We need a pass. We've got one. Zola, shoot. Oh, what a scoop! Gary Cahill, it's going to be a goal now. Thiago Mendes, Gary Cahill, 3-0, and Frank Luko made it with a scoop.
It was Sunderland for Poyet.
It was
almost exactly the same area, Ben. It was almost identical for Gus Poyet. Same end.
Best moment of the night so far, apart from Dorma with the family out, I would add. But on field, Gianfranco Zola on the pitch, scoops it over the top.
It was muscle memory. That's exactly what we've just seen there. Gianfranco, it's identical, Ben. Ben, it's identical. It's
Next question, what is Gary Cahill doing there? Because it was a counter-attack and he's one of the younger blokes.
Yes.
Why is Gary Cahill up top?
Who knows? He's the one that sets it back. Ben.
I love you. What a player. Just beautiful.
It is, Ben. Do you know what? Anyway, it's Bayern, by the way.
Hang on. Well, they're beaten for sure.
Clean sheet.
Clean sheet.
Frank Sinclair. Frank started it on the right-hand side. Makalele stepping into the middle of the park.
How lovely that we've watched a goal tonight through the ages a bit. To start with Frank Sinclair, Makalele, Cahill, Zola, Kaziragi, Cahill. Lovely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's what these games do, Ben.
They
take you back.
Combinations that would never have happened.
No, like a bit of a time machine we just stepped into.
Can I say, a lot more fun than watching Chelsea versus Forest here the other day.
Ain't that the truth?
Makalele. Oh, look at that.
Never known anyone until I saw N'Golo Kante to smell and danger before it even before it stunk. Yeah, he would position himself into areas of the pitch where he would realise and see what danger potentially could he have to avert, and at times I see him just step in. You don't do that by coincidence.
Frank Sinclair had a chance to bomb on there. Thiago Mendes is making a run, he's onside. It's a brilliantly timed run! Oh, that's the goal of the night! Did you see how deep he came from? That is absolutely brilliant. That would grace at any pitch, at any level, any time. Never mind the vets. 4-0. That is the pick of the bunch. Glorious.
Football will never change, Ben. It's about the first touch. It's a brilliant run. It's a brilliant ball. And they're enjoying it. Christophe Lolichon there with Di Matteo. And it's the pass again. It's just a little lofted pass from Ben, the first touch.
Oh.
Football never changes. If you don't have a first touch, you won't have a career. It's a lovely,
so well timed. But look at that ball. Essien's goal and assist. Oh, we've seen some cheeky scoops. Thiago Mendes taking the bow.
Yeah.
Right on full time as well. Zola was only on for a few minutes. He helped make 2 goals. Chelsea have beaten Bayern by 4 goals to 0. It's been cracking entertainment. The Oppo haven't scored, the Blues legends have. Terry in the 26th minute, Michael Essien leaping to bullet home a header. We've seen nearly 24 former Blues favourites. And it's been an absolute pleasure for a bumper crowd on a warm night at Stamford Bridge, and a game that Luka would have loved to watch and play in and score in. Perfect night all round, Mr. Cundy.
Indeed, when you come to these events, you know what you're coming to see, but also you want to see a bit of that old magic. You know what, mate? We know what these boys had under the bonnet when they played, and the little flick from Gianfranco Zola, and we've had a little bit of everything, Ben. Captain Leader Legend scoring. Michael Essien with a header. Wowzers. Gary Cahill, what's he doing up there? The flick pass from Gianfranco Zola. Sunderland away, Sunderland here, I should say, where Gus Poyet scored that immaculate volley. Shades of that.
August 2000, younger fans. I'm aware Jason and I have referenced a fair few things this evening that might not stick in some people's memories because of your age, but definitely look around for those. Well, we've got presentations coming soon. We've also got a few stewards and a little bit of silliness. Let's really not do that. Zola and Gallas down there, just getting into it. So, Cahill and Terry, clean sheet and a goal each.
Yeah, could have cheated, clean sheet.
No, but they both scored.
Yeah, goal.
You realise they both scored and kept a clean sheet, and John Terry's helped with a goal. So they are going to be chirping. Can we put the band back together?
Has there ever been some rather disappointing scenes here? Fans.
Yeah. Don't make it about you, mate, whatever you do. Get off the field. Anyway, I don't even want to give them the airtime, and we're not going to.
Has there ever been a game, Ben, and I can't think of one, where John Terry and Gary Cahill scored in the same game?
Oh, now you've got me.
I know. Our memory between the pair of us.
I wouldn't be overly surprised. A 4-0 thumping. Take that, Bayern. Didn't need an Arjen Robben penalty. Didn't need late heroics from Drogba. Thomas Muller, your boys took one hell of a beating. Is that man of the match? He has been. Of course he has. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him playing here at 50 and 10 years from now in a Legends match. He's still looking good.
Of course not. And they're going round, the Chelsea lads just going round towards the Matthew Harding end, just applauding.
These are lovely moments to savour, and there'll be a few down there who, for one reason and another, because you know how transfers happen, maybe didn't get any official thing, or were injured and then the season ended, or the end of season was at home, or they didn't know they were leaving, Jason, all that sort of thing. There'll be a few down there for whom this will be lovely. I'm talking about the players, sorry.
Yes, of course,
who are, having a little moment there. Nice, really nice.
Absolutely. And also, do you know what? It's great to go down. And I've been on Brady Gators many years ago, of course. But it's lovely to go on the pitch and even even when we won the Masters 15, 20 years ago. We were half-time, come round, either me, Clive, Dave Lee, Gareth Hugg, Dimitri Karine, who else was there? Gavin Peacock, Ken Moncat. And you go back and you go in the pitch, it's like, do you know what, this is my family. So it's good to say goodbye.
And to sign off with a win, great cross from Ramirez for the Essien head.